What's good everyone, it's Zigzag here, welcome back to another GeoGuessr video. Today I am joined by Trny and Daigo. These are two friends of mine who I met up with in Japan. Trny is a pro player, one of the best in all of Japan. He's also really good at Russia, definitely a formidable opponent. And then we have Daigo, who is a little bit weaker to be fair, but he is the biggest GeoGuessr YouTuber in Japan and definitely has skills with pinpointing and that kind of thing. So anyway, I'm taking him on 1 versus 2 today. We'll see how many games we play, kind of depends on how they go. But I'm very curious to see how I can go against these two. Obviously, 2 guesses are better than 1, so it should be interesting. But without further ado, let's get into the first one where we're going to be playing on Community World No Moving. I was thinking that this is probably going to be somewhere in the Philippines. The Google car would seem to fit here, as well as the fact that we're driving right. So yeah, Philippines definitely works here. With the abundance of palms, I was thinking more south. But it could also just be one of the middle islands as well. So I might just go around here and call it a day. Definitely this island, probably Mindanao, most likely. But then again, yeah, as I said, can see anything all the way up to Manila, basically. So it's a difficult round, which is better just to hedge on, I think. Okay, and it ends up being Samar Island there. That's a nice 500 points of damage off the first round. Definitely, though, like Later and Samar are 2 islands that have a lot of palms as well, so it makes sense. Next one here are these yellow lines. I think they would be, right? Yeah, and they are. Black back of the sign there. We got like very striking mountains in the distance there, so I would say this is going to be somewhere in Espiritu Santo state. It does say Paraíba there as well, so obviously that's a state up here. It's not impossible that we could be looking at maybe, I don't know if it actually gets hilly enough near the coast where it's green. This actually could be far north. I wouldn't discount it. Especially some of these trees feel a bit African. You can definitely see that further north in Brazil as well. So this is a bit of a conundrum here, like definitely north or south, and they're so far apart that it's very painful here. Honestly, with this landscape over here as well, I think I would be willing to go north here. It's scary because these mountains are weird looking for this far north, but they do exist, I believe. Okay, they've guessed. Gotta make up my mind here. I think I don't see any mountains that are big enough then. Unless we're like on this road. How do they go? I think I'm gonna go north. This is so risky. It's probably wrong, guys. Let's see it. Oh my gosh, it was just Espiritu Santo. I mean, yeah, you have to send one there, right? I don't know what Paraíba even means. It probably just means something normal, but it was actually Rio de Janeiro there, which makes sense. And yeah, I mean, without a sign, I definitely would not be going north. And oh, the pain just piles on here because now we're in Japan. That might be a Shikoku plate, I want to say. I know I said that wrong, but yeah, I think that would make sense. Yeah, we got the kind of like spine at the top, kind of typical pole top here. This could also be Kansai. I'm just noticing because the black goes all the way to the edge here, so maybe that would make it Kansai. But honestly, we don't have too much writing, so they might be able to scan for these place names, though I'm not quite sure. So yeah, it's interesting. We have a lot of like islands here as well, and that's kind of looking north as well. So it's definitely findable, and I'm worried that they might be able to find the exact spot here. Maybe somewhere on here could work on Shikoku. But I was also just thinking like something like this, also seeming quite decent as well. Honestly, that does actually seem quite good to me, but we would probably be able to see over east. I don't know. It's interesting. Like there's a few options here. I might just hedge it here for the different options. I think that's at least decent. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. I'm not really sure where this is, but hopefully, like, they're not trying to 5k this, and I'm not just going to be about to get dumped on the 3rd round here. But yeah, we'll see. Okay, ends up being Oita there. We're actually closer, which is nice to beat 2 Japanese people at their own game there, but obviously not much damage in terms of total points. Next one here, it's going to be somewhere in Ghana. It should be further north as well. Now, we do actually have, I was going to say we had some palms, but no, it's just a similarly shaped tree there. So I definitely think further north. I think like Tamale area or Wa, these two working quite nicely. And maybe even Wa is better here. So I might actually try this kind of stuff over here, I think. I'm going to go like that. I don't really know where this is, but I think it's a decent guess. And so it actually was Wa there. We guessed pretty close though, so it's really no big issue. It's going to be 363 points. So now that multis kick in, we're really lucky to get that terrible Brazil round out of the way quickly. And now we are on to double damage where things are starting to heat up. This is Peru with this kind of guardrail. Now I was just teaching Daigo some Peru. So I hope he doesn't get too close here, but this is fairly north-south. It feels like southern Peru with this absolute dryness, and we are on a divided highway here, so I would definitely like say it's probably, especially the fact that we're near the ocean, it's quite... It's either quite... I actually don't know, but I don't think it's too far south here, maybe. So what about this kind of stuff? This stuff does seem to work rather nicely. We got a bridge there, so I could definitely see that being the 5k. But then again, like, there is stuff down here. Now, would it be divided? I would say it's not, so I'm going to go for that guess. I think it's right, because I think the divided highway probably starts more so around here. Although it is still divided a bit south here as well. So we'll find out soon enough. I think by the time you pass Ika, it's not, though. Yeah, so that should be a decent guess from us, I imagine. And oh my goodness, we actually got the bridge there. Let's go. Oh yeah, the 5k, baby. Let's get it. And they both went pretty south there, so that makes sense as well. I guess it's a bit of like divided highway knowledge there, which really comes out and gives us a good amount of damage there. Makes it right in the balance now. Next one here, Russia, I would say, is most likely here. We do seem to have Russian-style polls. Obviously, that would be Russian language as well. So this is interesting. I've been practicing a lot of Russia, and I don't exactly know where this is off the bat. So it does come across as a fairly difficult round to me, actually. Okay. Man, this is where having 2 players in a team is such a juicy advantage. But to be honest with you, I do not know where this is. Like, I really don't have a good idea here. So I think I might hedge close to the middle of the country. Now, I just think, like, Krasnoyarsk is possible, but to be downtown Krasnoyarsk, we'd expect, like, nicer houses. So then I'm thinking more so back over this direction. I just don't really know what actually fits quite nicely here. So I consider this a very difficult round, and I'm very interested to see where they go. I could see it, like, being on the outskirts of Perm, where you do get some coverage like this, maybe. It's scary, but this tree maybe feels even a bit further south. So I'm really not sure what to expect here. Like, maybe even Omsk could work quite nicely here. I might switch. I'm switching Omsk. I don't know where this is, but... Oh, no. Okay, that makes sense. It was actually over here. That's going to be GG damage right there. 7k points. Really nice from Trny, and I said he was good at Russia. That does not surprise me. Okay, now we're moving on to no moving, panning, or zooming. This should be interesting. Obviously, it's my preferred way to play the game, and probably not either of theirs if I know correctly. So I'm definitely anticipating a better performance from myself here, but it is always difficult OneBurst too. This one should be somewhere in Jordan, I imagine. Round pole, kind of this kind of vegetation. I can definitely see Jordan working quite nicely here. Might just go near Karak here. It is also a divided highway. I'm not really sure if you get that near Karak, actually. It seems like you probably do, but I'm not really sure how far north it would go. For example, here, turns into a single lane. So, yeah, maybe this is further north or further south. I'm just going to hedge it in the middle, because I'm pretty sure it's Jordan anyway. And honestly, on a small country like Jordan, I can just go quickly first round and not really worry too much about it. What about Wadi Musa area? Also seems quite possible to me. And even down to Aqaba is also quite possible as well, I think. So let's see it. Well, it's actually a bit further north there, so I'm happy I didn't opt to go all the way south. I sent one in either country there, so making sense, definitely. Next one here should be somewhere in, well, right next to the Balfour meat supply. Interesting. And should be South Africa here. Now, this is actually a difficult one. I don't pick up the state immediately here, I must say, so it's kind of difficult, it is. Wooden pole there is pretty standard looking. This feels like it's probably more north. Like, I could see like a Newcastle hedge working quite nicely here. Because I could definitely see it being that kind of Eastern Cape KwaZulu-Natal region, but then also kind of central stuff, central northern stuff working quite nicely as well, I think. So I might just go for that. Yeah, I feel like it is good here. Anyway, so that one ended up being on the outskirts. We ended up only losing 272 points there, so that's absolutely fine. And the next one here is looking like maybe Turkey or something like that here. I could definitely see. Maybe also Spain. I think Turkey's fitting better here, though. Yeah, road feels very Turkish, so I'm going to take my advantage and go quickly here because I think I worked it out. Antalya region seeming to work nicely here. Could also see near Mersin and Adana. Yeah, actually maybe more likely, but I don't mind where I clicked either, so I feel like getting the pressure on here is good. Trny already guesses though, so maybe he's also picked up the country. We shall see here. And, oh, it was Spain. I was pretty sure that it was Turkey with this road quality. So that's immediately 3.5k. We're down to 2k health here. Obviously, the odds are against us. Now, I see why it was Spain there. We had a flat signpost, and I just did not pick it up, unfortunately. This one is going to be somewhere in Israel here, and we shall see if my guess in Tel Aviv is good enough. Should just be somewhere along the coast, though, so it shouldn't be too many points done, I imagine. and indeed it was in Trny there, so that's just fine, and we at least don't get flawless here, which is obviously very pleasing to me. Already onto the double damage here, and we have some Western Cape action here. This could be good for me. So I know it's Western Cape because of the yellow number plate here, and I guess we kind of click between the mountains here maybe. I'm going to go for it immediately just because I feel like I do have the advantage here with this kind of round, knowing that the yellow plate means that we're there. This is also a Western Cape pole top though, so I wouldn't be surprised if they knew it, but it should be somewhere within these mountains. It could be all the way to George, to be fair, which would be scary because they could knock me out. It was actually much further towards George. That's really unfortunate. Honestly, it did make sense the longer I looked at it, but they had a really wide spread. They're kind of lucky to get close there, I feel, but still, well played. Next one here, 2.5 times damage already. I thought maybe of Luxembourg here. Do I still like that? I don't know. This could be a few countries. It's so blurry, it's hard to tell as well. France obviously comes to mind. UK is a big contender here as well. So it's scary here, man. I don't really know what's actually the better option. It doesn't really look like UK. I'm not so sure about that. But then again, Luxembourg is so small that you really put a lot of your eggs in one basket if you go for that. So maybe I'm overthinking things, but I think I want to try continental Europe here more. And why not Lux? Because Belgium's still possible, France is still possible, and UK we definitely get knocked out if they go there. But you know, it is what it is. And I think continental Europe is slightly better here. They might be sheep. This could be Ireland, and I got the complete wrong vibe. But we'll see about that in a few seconds here. And it was just France. That's enough to stay in. Luxembourg, guess, is okay, but still 800 points. So really on the ropes here. We need something hard to show up here. And it's looking like it's going to be somewhere in Taiwan. So yeah, that's obviously not the best news for us. It's not really the type of country where we can knock them out. I'm just going to go southern inside the valley here, even though it's very flat. I don't really know. It kind of gave me that vibe with all these palms, but I think it's somewhere in the southern half. So I still don't feel terrible about the guess, but obviously, yeah, they can easily take 1,000 points away from me here if they 5k it, and we could be in deep trouble. And it was south, so we stay alive here. That's good at least. And we really need this hard round to come very quickly. Otherwise, we are down and out for this series. And this could be it. I think this looks like, oh my gosh, guys, I'm gonna 5k this. I think. Yeah, is this it? I think that this is Rottnest Island. I swear, if it's here, I've won. If it's here, I've won. I'm pretty sure it's there. So, where's the sun? Sun would appear to be more to the north. Yeah, I 5k'd this, guys. I feel bad. This is literally the ideal round. Oh my gosh. And they're not going to get this. They might get Australia, though, so they might stay alive. And yeah, I 5k'd. Oh my gosh. There we go. And so, 17,000 points. We keep the series alive. Best of 3 is still going. And I feel really bad for that win, but we'll take it, right? Okay, this time we're moving to AI Generated World, and this map is known for being extremely difficult, so I've turned the multipliers off. Should be very interesting. This is a difficult map indeed, and we need a lot of luck to come through the win here. We had it last time, so let's see if we can actually play nicely this time. That would be good. This is immediately a difficult start. We have a Czech flag on the car there. This is not a Czech guardrail though. We also have like a really interesting mix of trees here. Maybe Romania came to mind, but the bollards don't really look Romanian. So I'm actually quite confused here. We've got a green thing here. We're definitely driving right-hand side of the road, so that's at least something. But it almost looked like Spain or something off the bat, and I'm pretty sure we're not actually there. So yeah, maybe it is Czechoslovakia. Maybe I could also see something like Romania working quite nicely here, Hungary as well. So anything in this kind of central region, even Croatia actually being a pretty good option here as well. And that would fit for the bollards at least somewhat. So I may try that here. Also kind of like slightly thicker road lines is something you see in Croatia. However, this guardrail I don't really think fits. So what about like northern Italy? I could see it. All in all, the like round is very strange. I am seeing that these bollards are kind of thicker, in a way that you may sometimes see in Austria. And then I also just noticed as I was saying that we do have like kind of like almost Austrian colors maybe behind my head here. So I could see like that actually being a possibility. I might just try it here. I think it is something Central Europe, so I really don't mind it. And I don't really know what the road angle is here. I'm really bad at reading that. But if I don't know what it is, if I don't know what the road angle is, it's normally something like that. And that would make sense. Like maybe even clicking on the A5 would have been good here if we're coming from Czechia. But obviously, clicking near check here also seems like a good idea. Road lines seem to fit, but I think the bollards are what makes me feel at least relatively confident here. I would like to say we came out with the right country in the end, and it was indeed Austria, and we actually get pretty close there. Bratislava, I guess, is also good though, and we had one in Italy as well there. So happy to get the country, but it's not too much of a points difference there on the first round. Next one here is Bhutan. And it's kind of pebbly here. I don't really know how to region guess Bhutan that well, but this felt like it might be kind of further towards the southern stuff here, like maybe this kind of region here, so I might guess in this city, but ultimately it can just be anywhere in Bhutan in my opinion. Just the fact that we seem to have like a bit of a flatter plateau here seems like it might be that southern stuff, but this is really the start of the Himalayas. It is really very flat over here in India, so, or I don't really know what's actually the best call here, but we will see. And now, wow, we actually got the right town there. So did Trny though, who is, yeah, a very solid player indeed. So only 1 point difference there. Well played to him. I honestly thought I was wrong, because I thought it might look a bit more tropical where that was, but there you go. Okay, next one here, we got a blue strip on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side of the plate there. That is interesting. And we got a wooden pole over here, as well as some metal ones. We got a Subaru there. What car is this? I'm not like really sure. So sun is not really helpful. I don't think it's Australia. I don't think it's South Africa either, because I don't really think the plate makes sense. So it should be like some Italian island, I guess, with these plates. Maybe like these ones could work quite nicely. Honestly, I'm just going to go for it here. The vegetation fits, and ultimately the plates fit the best. And yeah, I think we're right, although it is very strange. Also, this like vegetation that almost feels a bit Australian does fit for these islands and some of the other ones, so I think we might be good here. And, oh, no way that was Australia. Everyone misses it. What is that blue strip doing there? It is just like a, wow, we made the same guesses, but, okay, the pole looked Australian, and I said the vegetation looked Australian, didn't I? But wow, that's quite wild. Okay, next one here should be Mexico, I would say. Sun is actually not too helpful, unfortunately. So I could still see South America here working just possibly. But ultimately, I would say like Oaxaca working quite nicely here, or anything kind of northern as well. I think I might try Oaxaca here just because of this kind of dryness mixed with these like Colombian looking fences. And if I say Colombian fences, I should also be thinking of northern Colo here. And yeah, it really is possible as well. But I think I really got Mexico vibes more here, so I will try it. Is even maybe something else possible here? Yeah, maybe like, I don't know. Colombia is definitely the second shout here, but I'll try Mexico. Ultimately, without multis, we don't get eliminated here anyway, so I'm not too worried. But at the same time, like, it doesn't fill me with confidence, my guess, either, so we'll just have to see here. Okay, very interesting round there. It was Chiapas, so we at least do 500 points damage there. They pretty much take the same spread as me there, so that's understandable. And here we have a very difficult round. I'm feeling like I should just insta-guess here, but I don't know the country, nor the continent. Could this be Peru? Yeah, but I feel like Asia still might be more likely. Or Mexico, also pretty possible here. Sun almost felt a bit north, but I wouldn't trust that too much either. Yeah, these trees, they feel Asian. They do feel Asian to me, but that doesn't really help that much. I don't think it feels that, like, Malaysian, which is a map I've played quite a bit of. But then again, it doesn't really feel that Thai, nor does it feel that Indonesian, although I feel like Indonesia might be feeling like the best shout here. But then again, yeah, it doesn't really feel that Indo to me. So we could try like Batam here. That would be cheeky. Maybe even Bangka or something, just as a hedge. I feel like it's reasonable. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what else to say here. I feel like it's just a very, very difficult Asia. I'm going to try Indo here. I think I don't want to give them too much time to cook up something like really special here. I still think Peru's not a bad shout. So if I was sending two, I might send one Peru. But yeah, I mean, Indo's so big as well that we might lose quite a few points here. It's probably likely, honestly. And, okay, it was actually Indonesia, all the way in East Kalimantan. They had one Thailand and one Taiwan. So only 700 points damage here, but we're coming out with a strong lead so far. So I'm at least pleased about that. This one should be somewhere in Mexico. Now, I would have said that just based on this taxi, and I think it's still good. Also, this font on the sign feels very Mexican as well. I would say CDMX here works the best. But yeah, I don't really think of anything else great. So I'm just going to go for it here. I would love to look around after the round happened here because I feel like there would be something really useful nearby. But yeah, I mean, is that pink or is it red? I think it might be red, but if it is pink, then we've got it correct. And I think they at least send one where I am, surely. Ooh, they go Brazil. This is knockout damage. There you go. Wow, GG's, guys, GG's.
GG's.
I think it's better if we play best of 5 because I got very lucky on the last one.
Yes.
Okay, let's go best of 5 then. Let's go best of 5. GG's. Let's run it back here and see if we can take another win. Okay, second last game here, potentially, is going to be no moving. And let's see what we got going on here. Almost reminded me of Australia immediately. But now I'm struggling to think where it would be in Australia. Well, that looks like a yellow sign on the left. So maybe this is actually Australia. That would be weird indeed. Or that kind of looks Australian too. No way is this actually Australia. I think it is. Now, can we see a single eucalyptus tree? That's Australian. That's an Australian house right here. That's Australian architecture. So, is it Tasmania or are we somehow even further north? I think we are. Oh my gosh, this was not what I had expected. I'm struggling. We don't even see a single pole here, so I can't actually work out what state we're in because those are very useful. But there's a few options here. We could be in Tasmania and the flattest parts like north of Hobart, or we could be kind of like Wagga Wagga area, or northern Victoria still works, but like maybe like Wagga Wagga, maybe Gundagai working quite nicely here. I could see Gundagai. I'm gonna go for that. It could even be further north, but like somewhere around Canberra actually working the best here, I think, with this kind of like European looking landscape with a lot of pines as well. I think maybe it is even closer to Canberra just based on the fact that it feels so European and strange and cold, most of all. So let's see where it actually is here. And it was, yeah, other side of Canberra instead. Makes perfect sense to me. They got a good spread here. They went one Brisbane, one New Zealand. Interesting that we had such different approaches there, but obviously a great start for us here. So next one here, maybe Sri Lanka kind of vibe here. We've got like a grey car here. That's interesting. We're driving left here, so could actually be somewhere in Indonesia, I think. You do get that grey car sometimes over there. This is like tea leaves and weird plantations though. So I thought of like Sumatra here, maybe like West Sumatra kind of area. It could also just be somewhere in Java. Now this red soil is quite confusing to me. And honestly, these plants are honestly like a bit confusing to me as well. Because I would associate those more with like somewhere up here in the mountains maybe. So I could see that, but then there's not that much mountain coverage up here, to be fair. We could be like in this region here, I think. That's kind of risky still. Okay, let's actually see how many mountains we have here. We don't actually see that many. Like, it's not a very vast landscape, to be fair. So I think this is a decent guess. Could also see it like being just up here instead as well. This is a good hedge though, because it could still be Sumatra. Could even be like Batam, although Batam's too flat. So yeah, we'll see here. I think it's an okay guess. I think it's Indonesia. Because they're not wearing helmets. I feel like you would probably see like at least someone wearing a helmet maybe in Malaysia, I think. Or at least some cars instead of bikes. So we'll see here where it actually is. And okay, it was actually Java there. Was not expecting that. They both go Thailand though, so 1.8k points there. Immediately onto a big advantage here after 2 rounds. And we're moving forward to what appears to be some South Africa maybe. So yeah, we're driving left here. We've got South African pole top. That might be like an Eastern Cape or KwaZulu-Natal pole top, I want to say. 076 is a mobile phone code, so it doesn't help. What about the rest of the round here? Almost feels a bit, you know, like Lesotho like that hill. I don't know, that pole top's still interesting to me. I'm not quite sure where to place this. So yeah, I still think like I said, I could dry part up here, or maybe a dry part down here, but I think I'll try a dry part up here. I think that's just a bit more likely. Kind of does give me a bit of a subtropical vibe in a strange way here. I'll just go for that. I think it's a good guess. I don't know if it's a great guess though, so wouldn't be surprised if they're able to get closer than us here. Kind of neglected this number plate. If it does have some blue on it, that would help, but I can't even tell what color that is, to be honest with you. It's a bit too far and a bit too blurred to make it out. So let's see where this actually was. It was actually just outside of Durban there. They send one Eswatini and one nearby. Definitely guesses that make sense, but again, we're closer. So looking for the flawless here, hunting for the flawless. We need easy rounds. We need easy rounds just to chip them away now. Next one here should be somewhere in Thailand. We have a very jutting mountain here, but we don't see many palms. So what about this? The insulators seem like the northern style more so than the southern one. So I think this is actually Beatty and that it's a bit further north than we all might be expecting here with this mountain. So given that fact, it also seems a bit like air polluted. So maybe it is actually close to Bangkok here in a way. Divided highway as well. Oh, that's a very big mountain though. Look at that one to the south. I don't know what exactly that would mean. It could just be the case here that we are just outside of Phuket and it's a strange realm, but I want to say it is over here, and I just don't know where these jutting mountains would be. We see one here. I might try that. We're between two. Imagine if this is the 5K. Is that divided? Surely not. Yeah, no chance that that would be divided, but it was a good thought. I think it was a good thought. I don't know. It's not, clearly not here. We need to click, I guess we'll just click on this road here instead, but I don't know. It's interesting. Ooh, we clicked on the right road. Well, not quite, but almost. And that's a really nice guess, obviously. 1.1k there. They kind of sent either side of me, so this has been a crazy game for me so far. And I guess more so that they've missed a few. And here we go on the next one here. Bit of blue on both sides. That could be France for that reason. We see 2 French cars, so yeah, should be. Those trees feel southern to me as well. And this map has a lot of southern France on it. That's kind of a meta in itself. Do we see a phone code here or anything? No. So I'm going to use my vibes here and go for Montpellier, which seems to be like the city with the most coverage in this map. So I feel like it's a decent guess. And definitely a lot of this vegetation reminds me more of Australia. These pines, this plant, whatever it is here, I think we have that on my street. So yeah. And look, a nice conversation happening between these two through the window there. Okay. And it was indeed in Toulon. And that will be knockout damage. So 1.4k there. Very nice. We got the flawless for the last one there. So I'm happy with the outcome there. GG's to Trny and Daigo. Guys, thank you very much for watching the video. Do give a like if you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.